Alright, welcome back to the channel, lads. We've got another fantasy football video going on. I'm just talking about free hits. If you're doing a free hit game week 18, I've built like a couple of squads, I'll talk through them, talk about them, and you can see which one you like. Obviously take players from each, do what you want. But this is like, in my opinion, the best three teams with what you want to do. So this first team, I've gone with triple Tottenham, with Kane and Son. I feel like Kane and Son together, they're obviously solid. I mean, look, number one influence, number one creativity for forwards. It's got Aston Villa. Might be a little bit more of a tough game, but if you think they'll do well, triple Tottenham, Dyer, Son, Kane. I've gone with triple City as well, but a little bit cheaper. Like some people would go with Sterling over Foden. I've decided to go with Foden. He's in good form at the moment. They've got Brighton, and he's in really good form. I know he scored he got an assist against Chelsea. But yeah, no, I think Foden's actually quite a good shout at the moment. He's very cheap as well for 6.2 compared to other, high-end midfielders like De Bruyne, Fernandes, who are both in there as well. I feel like De Bruyne is like a staple. I think he's in all three teams. Same with Fernandes. I think they're both staples. Saka as well, off the back of two good results, getting a goal and then an assist. I think he had two goals in the last two games. I'm pretty sure, and they're playing Crystal Palace, who aren't sound defensively, so they could get some goals. Same with Tierney. Tierney scored last game, and he's just a solid defender. You can get Callum Chambers as well, who's also solid. I don't think Crystal Palace will score many, if not none at all. So I think Tierney's a good pick. Roman Saiss, out of the three Wolves defenders, they're playing Everton, but out of the three Wolves defenders, he's the most likely to score. So I picked him because I feel like Wolves are going to concede, but if any of them are going to score, it's Roman Saiss. And then Kieran Clark as a differential for me. They're playing against Sheffield United. They should win. Sheffield United are also quite bad scoring-wise, so he could be a good shout. He's pretty much guaranteed to start, I think. And yeah, I feel like he actually could be a solid defending choice for the free hit. Dyer and Diaz, pretty much staples. I mean, Diaz has been incredible since he joined, loads of clean sheets. I can't expect to be anything different against Brighton. I feel like Man City will keep a clean sheet. Same with Dyer. I mean, will Spurs keep a clean sheet? You can normally count on them too with Mourinho and stuff. But Aston Villa are quite solid going forward, so I don't know. But he's on free kicks as well, I think, at least on longer free kicks, so he could get a goal, you never know. And then this Sondergaard bloke that I don't really care too much about. And then De Gea, probably the best goalkeeper for this, the game against Burnley. You expect a clean sheet. It's Burnley, they're not they haven't too much of a goal threat, so I expect De Gea to make some good saves. Brewster and Wilson, I probably wouldn't start them. I'd probably play a 4-5-1 or maybe a 4-4-2. Just depends. I'd probably put Tierney, Saiss, Dyer, and Diaz, and then I'd probably put all the midfield in actually, and just play one up front with Kane. These two can come off the bench along with maybe Kieran Clark or maybe Roman Saiss, whichever one you really want to pick out of those two. Alright, the next squad we got. This team. Now this one has got double Aston Villa goalkeepers, which could be a little bit, of a weird one, but it is Tottenham, and you never know. Aston Villa might, not concede at all. This is a little bit different defence. We've got double City defenders with Cancelo and Diaz, both Portuguese. Tierney I've already explained. Tierney and Saka already explained. Maguire, similar reasons for De Gea. He's pretty much a guaranteed start. They're playing Burnley, and you expect them to keep a clean sheet, and Maguire will probably be part of that defence and probably get, a clean sheet. That's all he's really there for, is the clean sheet. Cancelo, might be getting attacking return because he knows he does go forward, especially against the weaker teams. He goes to like CDM, centre mid, even right wing. Sometimes he's very versatile. And once again, Dyer and Diaz stay there, already explained. Grealish against Tottenham. This is more based on Aston Villa to do well against Spurs rather than Kane. Gone with Lacazette, which I'll get onto now. Lacazette, he's been really good. He scored 2 goals against West Brom, and Crystal Palace is a very similar fixture. I feel like Crystal Palace may be more defensively sound, but I think Arsenal can still get goals, and Lacazette will probably be the one to do it with his form. And then same with McGoldrick and Wilson, very similar to Brewster and Wilson I had before. Maybe wouldn't start them. Maybe just sit on the bench. If there's any injuries or something, one of them will come on and get a return. I'd probably put Wilson first sub. And then, out of these, pretty much everyone can play. I mean, I'd probably I'd probably go without Eric Dyer. If you're going to play Grealish, I probably wouldn't start Dyer, just because if you expect Grealish to get attacking returns, you don't want anything losing from Dyer. So this one I'd probably set out like a 4-5-1 again, but with Tierney, Maguire, Cancelo, Diaz, Saka, Grealish, De Bruyne, Fernandes, Son, and then Lacazette, your single striker. Yeah, that's that squad. You know, I feel like that's probably my all-round favourite. Maybe I'd want De Gea here still. You know, maybe this team has De Gea and quite a solid team as well. They're all quite similar. They feature similar players. The De Bruyne, Fernandes, Son are pretty much staples in my opinion. Definitely De Bruyne, definitely Fernandes. Both got very good games. Son, a little bit on the fence because, you know, they're playing Aston Villa and Aston Villa are a good team. And that's why Kane would be in all of them, because Aston Villa are solid defensively, especially with Tyrone Mings and all that. Alright, the third team, once again, got De Gea in goal. This one, Mitchell, Bernardo, I expect them both to be benched. You know, they're the cheapest defenders who are playing. Clark, Dyer and Diaz. You know, that's like a... that I'd probably... expect them to be like a 3-back. Those three at the back. Saka, Sterling, De Bruyne, Fernandes, Son. All of them can start, in my opinion. And then I'd probably play Lacazette and Wilson again up top. Wilson, with Newcastle, you expect him to score. You know, most of the times Newcastle score, he's normally the one to do it. And you know, they've got Sheffield United. You expect Newcastle to beat Sheffield United, especially with Sheffield United's form. And yeah, with Sterling, I feel like a lot of people will go for De Bruyne over Sterling, but like if you've got the luxury to have both with a free hit, why wouldn't you? Brighton have quite a weak defence, and you know, you expect Sterling to score. You know, when he cuts in off that, you know, the left hand side or the right hand side, which he's been playing as quite recently. You know, he's been getting chances and getting quite a few goals, or a few assists at least. Once again, Diaz is in there. You know, you could probably use John Stones as well, or just put Cancelo in there if you want the attack in return. It just depends whether you're confident Man City will get a clean sheet, to whether you'll use Cancelo or Diaz or Stones if you think Diaz won't play because he's being rested. But no, yeah, for the short factor of Fernandes, Son, De Bruyne and Saka. Saka's good as like an enabler because he's so cheap. You know, you can basically put anyone else in with a free hit if you've got Saka, because you know he's a cheap midfielder. On the bench, I'd probably have Mitchell, Bernardo and Fabio Silva. I'd probably put Fabio Silva first bench just because he's more likely to get, you know, something off the bench if someone's injured. And then Mitchell and Bernardo as the second and third. Obviously Sondergaard as the goalkeeper. I don't think he's ever played. I don't think he's even on the bench most of the time, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what he's like. Dyer in all of them. I don't know how much of a good idea that is. I feel like in terms of defenders, you can either go double City defenders or one City defender and then Eric Dyer. Kieran Clark in two of them. I feel like in terms of 4.5 defenders for this game week, he's probably the best one. I mean, you've got Ben White as well, 4.4, who does play like sometimes slightly further forward. But Brighton are playing City and Newcastle are playing Sheffield United, and that's where the difference is. You expect him to keep a clean sheet, and you know he's quite a solid defender. I don't think he scores much from corners. I haven't really looked, but he could be a little bit of a threat, you know. Like, look, the past 3 games, you know, he's got 5 points against Liverpool for the clean sheet. You know, he played against Man City and played against Leicester. You know, he started the last couple of games. You expect him to carry on playing. So that's why he's in there. Mitchell actually did play the last game they played against Sheffield United, got 6 points. So you never know, he might play again. So I feel like that's why he's in at 3.9. You know, if he's going to sub him on, you know, if someone doesn't play, like Kieran Clark doesn't play, Mitchell comes in for him. And you'll do well, I think. If you know, I feel like one of them will play, and that's where the difference is. You know, one of them will play. De Bruyne in such good form the last couple of games. If he carries on playing through that middle role as like a centre forward size striker, and you know he pushes forward, they do link up really well, like with him there. And I feel like if he continues to play there, he will get points. In terms of who you'd captain in this team, you know, for me it's between Sterling and De Bruyne, maybe Fernandes. It's out of those three. Same with every other team, with either Bruno or Fernandes. It depends. Do you think Burnley's defence is going to be good enough, or do you think Man City will just, you know, run right through Brighton? That's what it depends on. But with Brighton's last run of games, well, Brighton's last game against Wolves, they drew 3-3. So there's high scoring games against them. So yeah, I feel like I'd target Brighton and play De Bruyne or Sterling captain rather than Fernandes. But that's up to you. You make that choice when you get to it. And yeah, they're the 3 drafts that I've got. I'll quickly show you the team I've got. I'm not going to use a draft, so that's the team I'm going to use. It's very similar to everything else. I've got the Cancelo, the Diaz, the Martinez, the Dyer. It's like a combined of those teams, but I've just had the benches slightly different because I haven't used anything to change the players. But that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, like I said, De Bruyne's going to be captain, and yeah, that's the team that I'm going to use. So you can either pick any of these. They're all going to be solid. They're all going to get you quite a few points. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video and hope it helped. If you're trying to pick what team, or you're going to use a free hit, or you're going to wild card, it depends what you're going to do. But yeah, thank you and goodbye.